Are you confident it's going to happen since you think that Elon Musk is also behind it?
Well, what I'm confident is whatever's going to happen is what Elon wants to happen.
Does this tarnish the Wall Street Journal at all? Because I
know you'd like to tarnish everybody. I don't know.
All that and more. So let's get to it. Tesla stock is up in the pre-market a little under 1%, currently sitting at $284.45. Now, this is a bit of a surprise considering the Wall Street Journal put out an article a little bit late last night. The stock damn near dropped 2% in after hours. Some ridiculous nonsense that insinuated the Tesla board was looking for a new CEO. Needless to say, the bears, they jumped all over it.
What is this about? Is this about the board finally thinking that Elon Musk is a liability to his own company?
You know, it's hard for me to actually think that that's what's motivating them because they've been so negligent for so long, ever since the Twitter merger, to be truthful and really protecting shareholder rights at Tesla. What I really think this is Elon accepting a reality that his future and his real focus and passion is in building XAI and not continuing to build Tesla and finding a way for him out of this in a sort of glorified manner. So, you know, I don't think this is wholly on the board.
Elon isn't going anywhere. I don't know what else to say. Elon isn't going anywhere. When this news story first broke, I thought it was a joke, especially after what we heard from Elon's own mouth during the earnings call. This really just feels like Ross Gerber's wet dream.
Just to put it out there, you called for Musk to be replaced about a month ago, and that wasn't the first time you've expressed that view. Are you confident it's going to happen since you think that Elon Musk is also behind it?
Well, what I'm confident is whatever's going to happen is what Elon wants to happen.
Elon isn't going anywhere.
Ultimately, Elon's focus is continuing the race for AI. And if he doesn't focus on XAI now, he's going to fall too far behind some very, very tough competitors with, you know, Facebook and Google and Microsoft and Chat. So this is his, you know, arch enemy, you know, Chat, you know, and OpenAI. And so for me, I look at this as a way for him to gracefully exit Tesla, and he's looking for a way. And with Robin Denholm selling all of her stock as chairman of the board, I think she's on her way out. He becomes chairman, and they find a new CEO. And considering JB Straubel is the one talking to a lot of these investors, he's probably the one best suited to take this role, even though he wouldn't be an outside player. I think an inside player makes a lot more sense.
Elon isn't going anywhere.
So apart from him, who could replace Elon? Some say that it should be a person just like Tim Cook did for Apple, because, you know, that kind of person would be able to perhaps take the company to the next level.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't have a Tim Cook. And, you know, the relationship between Jobs and Cook and Woz was very unique. And that's why Apple is one of the most valuable companies of all time.
Look, I'm no Apple hater. What I'm filming on right now is an iPhone. But saying Tim Cook took them to the next level, I'm pretty sure he just kept the train on the tracks, right? Any conscientious objector could tell that Apple isn't doing anything too radical on the innovation front. I believe Apple had like a $3,000 augmented reality, virtual reality headset. I personally don't know anybody with that device or is bragging about it. It's not even in my circles. They abandoned their autonomous Apple car project. And even with the iPhone, the only real reason most people would upgrade is to get that stunning new camera. Maybe some processing power. Extra data, maybe? For bears like Ross Gerber, losing Elon Musk would simply mean just a return to the battery electric vehicle side of the business. Forget all this nonsense about robo-taxis and optimist. You need to focus on things that you know works. Where's this cheaper, more affordable model? Can we get an SUV maybe? Let's expand the supercharger network and gouge other manufacturers so that we can get more revenue. It's the expansion of ideas like these that will happen if Elon Musk is no longer CEO, techno king of Tesla. In my opinion, anyone can do these things because they're easy. But the vision to disrupt oneself in the midst of being the dominant player of that industry, that's what keeps you running laps around the competition. There is no competitor. You have to look at them through a telescope just to see second place. Elon Musk rallying the troops around 2019, 2020, that autonomy is going to be the future. The investment required 5 years ago to be where they're at today, no other company would have done. And because of Elon Musk, Tesla is in pole position.
But if the board is looking for an outside CEO, I think that presents lots of different challenges because, you know, you got to work with Elon, and B, we want Elon involved, obviously, with the innovation of Tesla. It's just changing the image and the focus of the brand away from Elon and refocusing it on Tesla would be the goal. So maybe you need more a marketing type CEO. So this is a challenging position to be in because, you know, Elon really created a situation where you couldn't be easily replaced.
The only thing about what Ross has said, and I watched that entire clip, I won't put you guys through it. The only thing I agree with him on is that Elon is going to do what Elon wants to do. Luckily, we don't have to speculate. We can hear it from the horse's mouth.
Starting probably in next month, May, my time allocation to Doge will drop significantly.
Now, Tesla's denying a report that board members recently contacted executive search firms to get to work on finding a successor for CEO Elon Musk. This came from the Wall Street Journal late last night. The paper says that the company's board met with Musk about a month ago and told him he needed to devote more time to the electric car company and say so publicly. The report says Musk did not push back on that idea. Early this morning, a post appeared on Tesla's X account that was attributed to board chair Robin Denholm, and she said, earlier today there was a media report erroneously claiming that the Tesla board had contacted recruitment firms to initiate a CEO search at the company. This is absolutely false, and this was communicated to the media before the report was published. The CEO of Tesla is Elon Musk. The board is highly confident in his ability to continue executing on the exciting growth plan ahead. And then Musk got into the action on X early this morning, calling the Journal story deliberately false. He called the Wall Street Journal a discredit for media. Tesla stock went down initially on this report. It's fallen roughly 40% since its mid-December highs, and the company it's faced some public backlash due to Musk cutting Doge spending and his public embrace of President Trump last week. Musk said he would soon be spending more time at his car company.
Again, I thought this was like an Onion headline, considering Elon Musk has already told us what was going to happen. I believe he said he was coming back in May. It's May 1st, ladies and gentlemen. Yet the Wall Street Journal still felt the need to publish this article. Now, it's all speculation, filled with fear, uncertainty, and doubt, casting Tesla in this negative light caused by one single man. Forget the fact that the stock market hasn't been too kind to any automobile manufacturer. This is definitely some hyperactive clickbait, considering bears are going to want to gobble up every word, and then it also sends retail investors of Tesla running for the hills. The only real problem is it's demonstrably false.
So let's decipher what's going on here.
Where there's smoke, there's fire?
No, not necessarily, but I think there's a couple of things happening. One is, it is absolutely true, and I can report that a month and a half ago,
you need to get back.
There were board members who were concerned about it, and by the way, there were lots of investors who were telling members of the board, you have to get on Elon about this, and is there a way to get him, so that was a real conversation. The question about, Robin saying the board, the official board, may not have been calling up search firms. I doubt that I believe her when she says that. Do I also believe that there were search firm executives that may have contacted board members or board members that are friends with search firm folks who said, yeah, you know, at some point we may need to start. Like, that happens in casual conversation all the time, that people would start to, and by the way, is it instigated by the board members? Is it instigated by some executive search person who wants a fee? Is it instigated by a banker who wants to get in the middle of it?
Like when a banker decides that the two companies should merge or spin, and they approach the company.
So my only point is it possible that there was some kind of
this is a
conversation in the corner?
Right.
Sure. Is the official board doing that as a choice? I'll take Robin at her word. I'm just saying, is there a chance that these other things could have happened? I imagine probably something like that did, but not in any kind of official way. And
well, how bad is it to report that the board contacted an executive search firm and was looking for a new CEO?
The piece said that board members.
But they
and I don't know if they said that they reached out. They said I think they had conversations.
But saying go ahead, make some suggestions for other CEOs. They would. That's if they did that, then that's something. If they didn't, then it's probably.
By the way, I would argue that they're derelict if they're not doing that. Right? I mean, let's also, so there's like a lot of sides to this, right? Your job should be, as a board member, to have a succession plan.
Maybe if
if you think that your CEO potentially may be planning to do other things at some point. And by the way, there have been conversations
so not
for
because
years.
You're not talking about because of what happened to the stock, because he's, that's a very near-term outlook.
No, I don't think
it's been up every year.
Nobody's getting rid of Elon Musk because they don't like him. That's not what's happening.
But if he's not spending enough time there, and you start to say part of the reason for the 40% drop in the stock from its highs is because he's been neglecting it, you could, on a fiduciary basis, say we need to look around. But that would be a stupid move. Does this tarnish the Wall Street Journal at all? Because I
know you'd like to tarnish everybody. I don't know.
Tarnish everybody?
I don't know if it tarnishes them or not. I really have to go look specifically at the wording and the this and the that. I think that her wording is very specific. I think their wording is very specific.
So it's both sides have a certain amount of spin, and it's somewhere in the middle.
And I don't know what the truth is, right?
Look at that, though. Tesla board open search for a CEO to succeed. That's a lot different than having conversations on the golf course with a buddy you got in a search firm.
There's a lot of nuance.
I might like to tarnish media, but you kind of like to tarnish Elon occasionally, recently.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. I just think the bloom was off the rose for you and Elon in the last couple of years.
I think you are so wrong that I don't even understand why you do this.
No, I'm not doing it. I work here. I sit across from you. I've seen a change ever since the flamethrower.
Flamethrower was 5 years ago. So
that was even before the orange Cheeto got involved.
Seems like there's a lot of nuance to this partnership on the financial news media of CNBC. To be fair, Joe didn't start this fight. He just finished it.
I mean, we're all human. I mean, I'm not saying you're out keying Teslas, but in terms of...
Are you crazy? I still think this is... I've known this man, as you know,
I know, but look,
close to
20, would you at least acknowledge
25 years,
would you at least
20 years.
Acknowledge that,
and I have a lot of admiration for
I know you do, but would you at least acknowledge that on one side of the aisle, it used to be, because of climate change and everything else, used to be his biggest supporters. He's now grouped together as a Nazi dictator with Donald Trump. By
the way, interestingly, given all the things that I've said on this air, I have never said anything about that ever.
No, I'm not saying you have. I'm not saying you have, but
I don't understand where you're sort of casting aspersions.
I'm not doing that. I'm saying I admit things.
Well, this one I'm not admitting because it's not true.
You haven't. Your view of Elon Musk hasn't evolved at all over the last couple of years?
Oh, of course I have different. I mean, I think he's evolved over the last couple of years.
Okay, maybe that this is like getting enough. Maybe that's enough for you to acknowledge that. Then I'm fine. If that's the way you want to characterize it, that's fine.
Okay,
that's fine. But you will see me say, like, I'll admit a bunch of stuff on how I actually feel about it, and it's okay for you to do that, Gonzalo. You're human. If you're human, you are a journalist, but you are human.
In conclusion, Elon Musk isn't going anywhere. Tesla is on the cusp of transforming from a battery electric vehicle auto manufacturer into a company the likes the world has ever seen before. A place where manufacturing and software are happily merged together in an effort to grant sustainable abundance for all. This vision is currently shared by everyone at the company, but the man holding the banner is Elon Musk. The majority of this man's wealth is tied into this company. He's not going to leave it in the hands of someone that can't execute the vision. Not by choice anyway, and you best believe the board isn't firing Elon Musk. Having a succession plan is something totally different than trying to replace him amidst all of this turmoil going on lately. The Wall Street Journal knew what they were doing, and quite frankly, they should be ashamed about it. That's all I've got for you today. Be easy. Peace.